要是生病了，您会去看中医还是西医？
中医。
为什么？
虽然中医见上慢，但是病好的彻底。
要是生病了，你会去看中医还是西医？
西医。
为什么？
中药苦得厉害，我可受不了。
要是生病了，你会去看中医还是西医？
那得看是什么病，大病看西医，小病看中医。但如果是急性病的话，还是西医快一点。
要是生病了，你会去看中医还是西医？
我觉得应该先看西医，然后再去看中医，好好调理一下。
要是生病了，您会去看中医还是西医？
中医。
为什么？
虽然中医见上慢，但是病好的彻底。
要是生病了，你会去看中医还是西医？
西医。
为什么？
中药苦得厉害，我可受不了。
要是生病了，你会去看中医还是西医？
那得看是什么病，大病看西医，小病看中医。但如果是急性病的话，还是西医快一点。
要是生病了，你会去看中医还是西医？
我觉得应该先看西医，然后再去看中医，好好调理一下。
In China, there's a struggle to find a balance between traditional Chinese culture and modern life. People don't want to lose their unique culture and customs that are centuries old, but at the same time, they want the society to advance and become more and more modern. One area where you can really find a clash between the traditional and the modern is in the field of medicine. In China, there are doctors who practice 中医, Chinese medicine. There are also doctors who practice 西医, Western medicine. In this lesson, we'll find out what perceptions people have of 中医 and 西医 and see which type of medical treatment they prefer. The question that our host Tongtong asks this time is,
要是生病了，您会去看中医还是西医？
if you got sick, would you go see a Chinese medicine doctor or a Western medicine doctor? 要是生病了，您会去看中医还是西医？ The way to say get sick or fall ill is 生病。生病 is a compound verb with a verb-object structure, just like 唱歌 to sing and 吃饭 to eat. I've come down with an illness or I got sick is 我生病了。We use the 了 here to indicate a change of situation from being healthy to being sick. Now, if you just want to say I'm sick, that's 我病了。Be careful here, because in this sentence, being functions as a verb, not as an adjective, just like in English. So this is an area where a lot of students make mistakes. Since being is a verb, if we want to say really sick or very sick, then we cannot say 我很病 or 他非常病. Get those sentences out of your mind because they are wrong. Instead, we must say 我病得很厉害 or 我病得很严重 I'm severely sick. This is the same sentence structure that we use with other verbs such as 他跑得很快 he runs really fast. Does that make sense? You can also review this on our Chinese learning tips lesson 29. One other thing I should mention before we start our interviews, the word 病 can also be a noun that means illness, as in 这种病很严重. This type of illness is very serious. Okay, let's watch our first interview.
要是生病了，您会去看中医还是西医？
中医。
为什么？
虽然中医见上慢，但是病好的彻底。
Does this guest prefer 中医 or 西医? Right, 中医. In her reason, she uses a 虽然可是 sentence to mean even though, but. She says 虽然中医见效慢, which literally means even though Chinese medicine takes effect slow. The word 见效 is a verb that means take effect or produce the desired result. Medicines that are 见效快 are fast-acting and make you feel better quickly. Medicines that are 见效慢 take longer to work. The guest says that even though Chinese medicine is slow to take effect, 虽然中医见效慢, the illness is cured thoroughly, 但是病好得彻底. In this sentence, the word 病 is used as a noun and the word 好 is used as a verb to mean to cure. 好得彻底 means cure thoroughly. This guest holds a really common opinion about Chinese and Western medicine, which is that Western medicine makes you feel better quickly, but mostly just treats the symptoms of the disease, whereas Chinese medicine takes longer to get results, but it really gets to the root of the disease. Let's watch that interview again and then move on to the next one.
要是生病了，您会去看中医还是西医？
中医。
为什么？
虽然中医见上慢，但是病好的彻底。
要是生病了，你会去看中医还是西医？
西医。
为什么？
中药苦得厉害，我可受不了。
In this answer, we come across the word 中药. Yao is the word for medication or drugs. So 中药 refers to the type of medicine that you would take if you are being treated in the traditional Chinese way. 西药 refers to Western medications such as antibiotics and painkillers. The Chinese word for pharmacy or drugstore is 药店. This is the same 店 that's in 饭店 restaurant. In China, some 药店 only sells 中药 or 西药, but a lot of them sell both 中药 and 西药. Our guest says that she prefers Western medicine because 中药苦得厉害. The word 苦 means bitter, so 苦得厉害 means severely bitter. This is the same 厉害 that I mentioned earlier in the sentence 病得很厉害, severely ill. Severe is just one meaning of 厉害. Check out our Chinese learning tips lesson 42 for other meanings and fun uses of this word. The guest says 中药苦得厉害. Traditional Chinese medications are severely bitter. 我可受不了. I cannot stand it. You should definitely learn the sentence 我受不了, which means I cannot stand it. If you put a 了 at the end, 我受不了了, it means I cannot stand it anymore. We devote a couple of grammar lessons to the complement 不了, so check out our grammar lesson 61 and 62 if you want to know more ways to say use 不了 in addition to 受不了. The 可 in our guest sentence 我可受不了 as emphasis. Here are a couple more similar sentences where you can add 可 for emphasis. 你可别忘了 don't forget. 我可不知道 I don't know. Now, you cannot just go around and adding 可 in a sentence for extra emphasis. So for now, just learn these few examples, all right? I have to say that I totally agree with this guest. The taste and smell of traditional Chinese medicine really is 苦得厉害. A lot of people, including myself, 受不了. All right, repeat after me. 中药苦得厉害，我可受不了。
要是生病了，你会去看中医还是西医？
西医。
为什么？
中药苦得厉害，我可受不了。
要是生病了，你会去看中医还是西医？
那得看是什么病，大病看西医，小病看中医。但如果是急性病的话，还是西医快一点。
That's a great answer. The guest says, 那得看什么病. It depends on the illness. We learned the phrase 得看 depends on or have to see in intermediate lesson 41.
你好，如果和朋友一起吃饭，你会选择 AA 制吗？
这个我觉得得看情况吧。
The guest said 得看情况吧, which means it depends on the situation or have to see what the situation is. 情况 or 情况 means situation. Our guest here says 那得看什么病. Notice that she uses the word 病 as a noun here to mean illness or sickness. Then she explains 大病看西医，小病看中医. Literally, big illness, see Western medicine. Small illness, see Chinese medicine. Here, 大病 means severe illness, like a serious disease. 小病 means minor sickness, like nothing life-threatening or too debilitating. We've talked about before about how the word 大, big, is used more in Chinese than in English. You might remember from lesson 35 that you just say 大风 to mean strong wind, and 大雾 to mean heavy fog, and 大太阳 to mean bright sun. Our guest continues her thoughts by saying, 但是如果是急性病的话, which means, but if it's an acute illness. Here's something important. Adding a 的话 at the end of the phrase makes it an if statement. Many people who start a phrase with 如果 or 要是 will also put a 的话 at the end of the sentence. It's optional, but commonly used. So Tongtong also could have used it in her question saying, 要是生病的话，你会去看中医还是西医? The word that our guest uses to mean acute illness is 急性病, which refers to an illness that gets worse and worse and peaks and then goes away, either on its own or with treatment. This 急 means urgent and 性 means nature. 急性病, urgent natured illness or acute illness. This word 急 is a good word for you to learn. If you want to ask someone to do something for you quickly or urgently, you can say 这个很急. This is urgent. Or if you want to tell someone to take your time, there's no hurry, you can say 不急不急. In Chinese, you can call someone a 急性子 as in 他是一个急性子 if they're always impatient, in a hurry, and want things done now. The opposite of this is 慢性子, which is used to describe someone who's never in a hurry and never rushes, like slowpoke. The word 慢性病 means chronic disease, so it refers to things like arthritis that are never really cured. So our guest says, 但是如果是急性病的话, but if it's an acute illness, 还是西医快一点. Western medicine is still a little faster. In this sentence, the word 还是 means still. So now you know two ways to use 还是. The first meaning of 还是 is or, and the second meaning you're learning now is still. Okay, hopefully you have a feel for that now. So let's go back and watch this interview one more time.
要是生病了，你会去看中医还是西医？
那得看是什么病，大病看西医，小病看中医。但如果是急性病的话，还是西医快一点。
Let's move on to the next interview.
要是生病了，你会去看中医还是西医？
我觉得应该先看西医，然后再去看中医，好好调理一下。
This guest reminds us of the way to say first and then. 先，然后，再。We first learned this in Intermediate Lesson 31.
你毕业以后打算做什么？
我准备先跟我男朋友结婚，然后再找工作。
The guest said, 先跟我男朋友结婚，然后再找工作. First, marry my boyfriend, then look for a job. So the pattern is 先 action 1, 然后再 action 2, with the 再 being optional. Our guest in this lesson said, 我觉得应该先看西医，然后再看中医. I think you should first see a Western doctor and then see a Chinese doctor. Then she followed up with the phrase 好好调理一下. You often hear people say 好好 do something, or in the North, it's often said 好好, literally well do something. 好好 means try one's best, and is a very common colloquial phrase you'll hear Chinese people use a lot. Please note here that 好好 is pronounced as 好好, third tone and first tone, 好好. So how do you use it? Here are some examples. You can say to someone, take a good rest. 好好休息一下. You can tell someone, think it over well. 好好想想. If the boss is trying to motivate the employees, he might say, 好好干, do your best. And in China, all students are reminded often to 好好学习, study hard. 调理 is a word that's used a lot with Chinese medicine and means something like nurse one's impaired health or recuperate. I mentioned before that Chinese medicine is all about finding the root of a problem and then taking time to adjust and heal that part of the body. It's a long and slow process, and it's often called 调理. Taking the time to really recuperate and recover is 好好调理一下. All right, let's watch that interview again.
要是生病了，你会去看中医还是西医？
我觉得应该先看西医，然后再去看中医，好好调理一下。
Well, now you know a little about Chinese perceptions of 中医 and 西医. If I'm sick, I usually prefer 西医 because I'm too much of a 急性子 to wait for Chinese medicine to work. I don't have the patience to 好好调理一下. I just want to get better quickly. I know that 中医 is gaining popularity in the West, so if you have anything you'd like to say on this topic, I'd love to read your comments. 好吧，下次见，再见。Okay, I just want to teach you one more word, and that is acupuncture. 针灸，针灸，针灸。Okay, so my question for you now is, 你觉得针灸有效吗？ Do you think acupuncture is effective? Please let me know your answer by commenting below the video. Okay, I really hope that you've been enjoying the videos from our Yoyo Intermediate Conversational Chinese course. And if you need a more structured study plan, please click here to download our intermediate level daily study schedule. It will guide you to Chinese fluency by giving you a day-by-day breakdown of exactly what you need to study every single day. Okay, and of course, don't forget to subscribe to our awesome channel. We have many more fun videos coming out, so you don't want to miss out on any. Okay, thank you so much, and until next time, I'm Yang Yang, your Chinese teacher, and I will see you next time. 再见。
Yoyo Chinese.